even think that men value marriage today?
Yes.
Then why aren't more men married?
Because they saw the game already.
What's that mean?
They have seen a lot. They've seen how wives been out here acting.
Yeah, I got him in here cooking tonight after he worked 12 hours. See, this is what you need to do when you come home from work. Just like I do every other night, okay?
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
What up, gents? Welcome to TSG Uncut. I am your host, Sean C. If you're watching this right now, then you're watching this as a members only video, but because we talked about one of the clips in the live stream from last night, I'm going to later release it to everybody because I want them to see some of these clips. Today's video isn't to discourage men from getting married if you choose to, or at least coming up with some type of arrangement that's going to work for beneficially for you and your woman. That's not my goal. My goal of releasing this is just to show why some men aren't getting married, some of the things that some men go through. And this is why it's important to know who you're dealing with, to learn and grow with the person that you with, so that you know them and they know you, and that hopefully they don't flip up later. But the examples I'm going to show you in today's video are absolutely crazy, and you don't want to miss it. Do me a favor, hit that like button, and with that being said, let's get started.
So me and my husband are in a huge fight right now. He actually left, and he said he's gonna stay gone until I get my act together.
Good on him, right? Too many men lately have been capitulating to their wives, having temper tantrums, what amounts to goddamn teenage temper tantrums. Men are just done, you know? Men just would rather have their peace than deal with a nagging ass woman.
So I'm gonna tell you what happened, okay?
See, what happened was,
pretty much, he works like 70 hours a week, okay?
70 hours?
And I asked him if we can go out to eat. We went out to eat yesterday, and I asked him again if we can go out to eat again. He said that this can't be something we do on a routine basis. And I'm just like, why not? When you have the money to do it, and you make all that money, why can't we do that? And he says, because we're supposed to be saving. We're supposed to save. What are we investing in? Why are we saving in the first place?
Gents, this is a huge problem, right? These women today want to go out and be wined and dined and spend money going out all the time. And I don't care how much money you make. This is why women don't need to be in charge of the finances, because all they want to do is spend the money, and they don't realize that shit happens. People lose jobs. The economy gets tougher. And you got to have a little nest egg. Now, I'm not saying, you shouldn't have times where you go out and you have those moments together. Me and my woman do it all the time. And it's, a highlight of what we like to do. But women like this sit there and like, why can't we just spend all the money all the time? And not understanding that part of the responsibility of a man is to make sure that his family is secure. And part of that protection and provision is thinking ahead to the future. Women don't think about this. They only think about what can you spend on them? What can you do for them? And they're not thinking ahead. Miss me with that whole, well, women would do it better. No, y'all wouldn't.
First of all, what I'm not going to do is sit here and allow someone to tell me what my money, that's my money too, because we're married. I'm not going to allow someone to tell me what my money is going to go towards.
Pretty much, I had my first two wives both had that mindset at one point where I was the only one working, and they were trying to say that I should be grateful about the money that I'm going ahead and make. Yes, you have access to this money too. Yes, you are my wife, and we have this money that we share together. But ultimately, one of us has to make the decisions on what happens with this money. And if it be left up to women like this, there'd be no money left. There'd be no monies for emergency funds. This is the reason why you have half of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. More than half of Americans don't even have $400 in savings because of wives that think like this. If that man is working 70 hours and you aren't, it's not to say that this ain't some money that you have access to. This is to say that you have a lot less say than you think you do. Now, this woman in this clip right here has a revelation about why some men just completely shut down when it comes to being in relationships.
I can see now why men pull away emotionally, because it just happened to me today, and I got to see from a man's point of view what it's like to date a woman sometimes. I came home, me and my sister lived together, and as soon as I get in the house, she just starts bitching at me about things that she wished I was doing, like cleaning the cat's litter box, setting up certain appointments, whatever it was around the house. And then all of a sudden I was thinking, like, no wonder I always just go to my room. Like, I don't want to be around you when as soon as they come into the door, you're just kind of nagging. What I was realizing is women do this all the time. We emotionally need to regulate. Like, there are certain times that you say, okay, if I want to actually get my partner to do something for me, because all that did is made me want to pull away and be like, fuck you, I'm not going to do it. And I can understand why men never do what you want them to do. You're like, I've told you a million times to do this. I've told you to do this. And you're like, why can't I get him to do things? Because you're not saying it in the best way.
What I find interesting about what she just said is that you're not saying it in the best way. Isn't this the exact same argument that women made about Kevin Samuels? Isn't that, well, we would hear what you're saying, but you're not saying it the best way. That's the way they speak. And the other thing is, even when he was peaceful with these women, they came on being disrespectful to him sometimes. The little messiness that women do with each other, that shit has nothing to do with us, and we don't respond to that shit. Soon as I come into the house, you're not gonna just sit there and nag the shit out of me. I don't respond to threats. I don't respond to you trying to hold me emotionally hostage through manipulation. And too many women do this. You would think that these women would understand, since they go to work now too, that when you come home, that's not the first thing you want to fucking hear. Now, this is a clip that I tried to tell you all about in the live stream. This guy has been going to work 12 hours a day, and I want you to hear how disrespectful his wife talks to him.
Yeah, I got him in here cooking tonight.
He is fucking that chicken up.
12 hours, see? This is what you need to do when you come home from work, just like I do every other night, okay? I know he's gonna say, well, you should be cooking every night because I pay the bills, but guess what?
No, you should be cooking because this guy goes to work for 12 hours and you just sitting at home on your fucking fat ass. Look at all the Pringles and shit. This dude don't look like he's a big ass dude. I bet you he got him a big heifer. I'm talking about he got him a water buffalo right behind him. Her voice sounds fat.
Don't laugh!
Guess what, buddy? That's not how it's gonna work around here. You're gonna put in some extra work when you get home.
Why don't you go to fucking there while I'm doing this?
Yeah.
Because I need to make sure you're doing it correctly. What are you talking about? Don't try to push me out of my kitchen.
Is your kitchen and your ass don't even clean? You can look at the shit in the background. Look at all the snacks and shit. You know there's a big ass heifer.
I'm not in your space. I'm just monitoring the situation. I'm making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. And when you're done, you're gonna clean all those dishes in that sink. Because they're not gonna do themselves, and I damn sure ain't gonna do them. Not after the day that I had staying home all day. I'm stressed out.
She wears underwear with dick holes in them.
So after your little 10-hour shift, what was it, 12? I think it was 12 hours, but after your little shift, you're gonna do those dishes, and you're gonna serve me dinner too.
Ladies, any ladies watching this? Y'all can think this is the way things should be and the way things are. This is the kind of shit that make a man snap and just take y'all out. Y'all really be pushing the lines nowadays. You know, y'all think, well, who gonna tell me whatever and nobody gonna tell me this and that. This is how wives end up on crime stuff. I don't know about you, gents, but has your woman ever played this what if game? What if this happened? What would you do? And this, that, and the third. And then when you tell them the answer, they can't handle the shit. Why ask me this dumbass hypothetical on something that ain't happening or hasn't happened or won't happen?
So I asked my husband what type of woman he would remarry if I died. And he said, I'm not getting remarried. And I said, well, who's going to take care of the kids and the house because you don't cook or clean? And he said, if you die, I get well over $1 million. I will just hire a maid. And the kids don't really need to be looked after at this point. They're old enough to take care of themselves. And I said, well, don't you think you'll get lonely?
They always ask that question, like, what about being lonely? women don't really understand. Yes, we enjoy a good woman for companionship, to have a little fun with, but really and truly, most women don't have great conversation. Most women are pretty damn boring. And the shit y'all talk about, we don't give a shit about sometimes. I know that's gonna sound cruel, but I mean, the things that y'all babble about with other women, most guys don't give a shit. Once you've been with somebody and they start to try to change the shit that you usually do, what you not gonna do or what they don't want you to do or how they gonna feel some type of way about it, when they start doing this a little too much, after a while you're like, why am I with this person? Because you're operating outside of who you are. And women don't understand that shit. It gets to the point where when you've dealt with that long enough, you're like, yo, we've been married X amount of years. I'd rather just be with myself. There's no sense in remarrying ever again.
And he said, I'm not getting remarried. I will just pay for escorts and a maid. I'll pay for a maid because I'm not going to clean the house. I said, oh, okay. And he goes, my only real concern is to make sure that I continue to make enough money to pay for escorts and a maid.
I wanted to leave y'all off with a Kevin Samuels clip, and it's of a woman who thinks that her value is higher now after she's been divorced than it is when she was married. And this is the flaw that a lot of women have. It's not to say somebody won't remarry you, because women get remarried all the time. It happens all the time. But the delusion of modern women today to think that your value is more now than before you got married.
The reason why I think my value is higher now than it was when I was married, because I've grown, I've learned, you know what I'm saying? And I got to know who I was as a woman. So I think my value has increased because as you get older, you learn, you grow, you mature. So that's why I think my value has increased.
This is the equivalent of saying, I've been on the job for 20 years, but then you go out into the market and you find out that what they were paying you at that job ain't what the going market rate is. Happens all the time. Women do not gain value in men's eyes with wisdom, age, and experience. They gain value possibly in your husband's eyes, but not to just men on the market. You're older and used. No product gains value, and you ladies will sit there and fight logic.
Another one bites the dust, chicks. Another one falls down in the Kevin Samuels zone. Let me know what you think about today's videos down in the comments below, and you're going to want to watch the video after this one, because as always, it's going to continue to keep this conversation going. And until next time, live your best life.